Welcome back to Layali Ramadan. Our next guest was an athlete since he was young. He initially started as a swimmer and was part of the national team here in Doha. Later on, he discovered his love for golf and he devoted his time and energy to this challenging sport. But don't be misled, because this guy has more energy than you think, and he chooses to spend that on high adrenaline sports such as skydiving, kite surfing, mountain climbing, motorcycling, and now rock climbing. Welcome to our show, Salman. I've given you a short introduction. I'd like for you to tell us more about yourself and what you do in the line of sports.
Thank you very much, Kaina.
How are you, by the way? I forgot to ask you. How are you? How are you?
Thank you for having us on the show.
Sure, of course, of
just
course.
want to say good evening for all the viewers out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been doing sports for a very long time. Yeah, and it's been part of my life. My mother, she got me into sports at a very young age, and we've been just trying out and experimenting with everything I can get my hands on. Yeah, and just golf has been the toughest so far. So that's the reason why I stuck with it.
I see. When I showed you my introduction, I initially described golf as a peaceful sport. And you said, no, it's a challenging sport.
It's a challenging sport.
Can you explain that to me? Because when I watch golf on TV, I'm like, this sport is very quiet, it's very peaceful. Yeah. But now you're saying it's challenging. Can you tell us why it's challenging?
Have you played golf before?
No, I haven't. I just watched Tiger Woods and that's all.
Well, if anyone out there that tries golf for the first time, they'll find that it's very difficult to hit a very small ball and very precise, and you would have to shape the ball. You would have a lot of obstacles on the golf course. There's wind, trees, sand bunkers, and there's a lot of mental game that goes into it. But not only that, just recently in the last 20 years, a lot of this athletes, just like Tiger Woods, they've been developing the physical aspect to it. So now we see a lot of golfers actually going and working out, and that has increased their performance in the game.
I see. What do you mean by physical activity? Like swinging it, or?
No, I mean actually going to the gym, working out your different muscles, specifically for the golf swing. And so, for example, your balance, your flexibility, your stability, and your strength, the speed that you hit the ball at, all that, they have increased it through specific workouts to enhance their performance.
I see. So are you saying that you have been doing those kind of workouts?
Yeah. I've just recently started, and recently, as in the last 3 years, I've been focusing on working on my body, because I really think if I have a good eye-hand coordination, if I focus on my stability and my physical abilities, that will add to my performance.
I see. What kind of, I'm just curious, what kind of exercise, like, I don't know any exercise, like, because I don't exercise.
So, weightlifting in general.
Right,
so
right.
a little bit
chest,
of, a little bit of bodybuilding. So they work on different parts of the body. You have some stability exercises. So because we wear shoes every day, that actually inhibits the ability of the foot to balance itself, because the shoe already balances your foot. So we have, recently I'm going to start slug line. So we walk on cool. Like a wire. Yeah. Like if you've been to the Corniche, you see a lot of people doing that, and what that does is it really works your stability, because you have to be very stable, to walk.
I see. That's interesting. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Flexibility. We do some yoga and stretching.
Ooh. Okay.
And for your mental game, the yoga does really help. It calms you down, and you feel more peaceful when you're under the pressure.
You do feel that. How long have you been doing golf?
Now it's about over 11 years. Yeah.
Over 11 years?
Yeah, over 11 years, yes.
So why transfer from swimming? You started swimming and you were part of the national team.
Yeah.
How long for was that?
That was about 3 to 4 years.
And how old were you when you started swimming?
I started around 9 years old.
9?
Yeah. And
you told me an interesting story of how you learned how to swim. Can you tell us the story again?
Yeah, my father, he took me and he threw me inside the pool, and I started struggling, and soon enough I got the hang of it, yeah.
He was not being a good dad. Sorry, he was not being a bad dad.
I learned
he was a good dad.
I learned how to swim.
And that's how you became part of the national team,
yeah.
right? And
We had a swimming pool just in our compound.
What's
and
in your
Masila.
house?
Yeah, it's not far from here. Five
really?
minutes. Yeah. We lived in Masila compound.
You still live around here?
No, we live in Gharafa now. But
see.
back then we lived in Masila compound, and we would go swimming every day.
Wow.
And that's how I learned how to transfer from the baby pool into the Olympic pool.
How about now? How often do you swim now? Because now you're focusing on golf.
Yeah.
How often do you swim, and how do you divide your time?
Well, now I can't get as much swimming in hand. I just graduated from St. Andrews University in Scotland, so it's really cold there, and it's freezing. Yeah. When I'm here in Doha, I try to go to the sea and swim out there.
It's the exact opposite of cold. Over here.
Both extremes, yeah.
Yes.
Hot and cold.
Yes.
I told them in Doha we only have 2 seasons. We have a winter and then we have a summer.
Right.
And the winter is coming up, and the summer we're leaving right now.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, there's 2 extremes. So I try to go to the North Sea or Fuerat, and I swim over there and fish.
In the sea, okay.
In the sea, yeah, in the sea. I find it's more fun than going to a swimming pool and going back and forth. Because you have no
limits. You can actually go as far as you could, right?
Go as far as you could. And the thing is, the further you go, the harder it is to get back. So
that's true. That's even scary when you can't see the shoreline, isn't it?
Yes, but it adds to the challenge. Yeah.
You do love challenges, don't you?
You test yourself, and then that's how you know your limits.
Of course.
Or if you don't have any. Yeah.
That's right. Speaking of challenges, you don't only do swimming or golf, you also do those high adrenaline sports that I mentioned in the introduction. Please tell us about that, because I'm really interested into that. The skydiving, rock climbing, all these things.
Yeah. It was just last year. I was in Orlando in Florida. I was visiting my family over there, and for my birthday I wanted to do some skydiving. And I went to the skydiving school in DeLand, and I enrolled the course, and it was seven jumps. I did them in 4 days.
7 jumps?
Yeah, just to finish the course. Yeah.
I see.
Different
is this a practice course, or you actually jump from the plane?
No, you actually jump from the plane, but there are 2 instructors next to you. They're not attached to you. So
okay.
Yeah, so you have 2 instructors next to you. They're not attached, and you have to do different maneuvers on each level.
Okay.
It's not that scary. Okay. It's actually like swimming in the air.
I'm very interested in skydiving.
You said that you wanted to skydive too.
Yes, and I want you to explain how that feels like. I've done bungee jumping, but I don't know if it's similar to skydiving, so I want to know what it feels like so that I can mentally prepare myself, because I think you have to do that.
Well, it's like swimming, but in the air.
Really?
Yeah. When I first jumped out of the plane, and you don't actually jump, you just step out.
Okay, really?
There's no jumping, yeah. So you just step out and the wind takes you. Right away you're 10 meters away from the plane and you're falling, and we have this instinct that when we're falling we want to grab a hold of something, yeah? But you cannot grab a hold of air.
Grab the air. What about your chute? I think you can go like this, or
but when I'm jumping I have 2 instructors with you. We're not doing tandem. So I'm not attached to anybody.
On your first jump?
On my first jump, yeah.
On your first jump you didn't have anybody?
There was no instructor next to me. And
oh my goodness.
A lot of people do that, or some of them they want to do the indoor skydiving, so they have a wind tunnel.
Okay.
But if you choose to go and jump out of the plane for the first shot, it's really fun. You jump and you're kind of floating on air. And you just have to keep your weight balance, so in the center of gravity. So have you seen badminton? See how the ball or the feather falls down? Yeah, it's the center of the gravity is always in the middle. That's why it faces down. Okay. Well, the same thing with skydiving. If you just keep your center of gravity in the middle, you'll always be falling.
How do you do that though?
Falling this way.
You just like balance yourself?
You have to arch.
But like if I do it, I think I'll be like feet down, just like what happened to me in bungee jumping. I imagine I'd be as graceful as a swallow, but it turned out I was just like this the whole time. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
What happens if you go feet down?
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Your weight of the body, it might be in the center again. So, but you'll be falling down, but facing upwards instead of looking down.
That's gonna be terrible, is it? So
but at 4,000 feet, you have a computer chip in the back, and it opens the parachute just in case something happens. But your instructions, in case you don't open the parachute.
Yeah, you panic and forget that you're supposed to open your chute.
Yes, but they train you really well, and it's very simple and easy course to do in Orlando, DeLand, and. What can I say? It's really fun. You should really try it. It's very peaceful.
That's good. Yeah. And you also have now the license. You don't just jump. What's the difference between a skydiver and a skydiver who has a license?
I only have the A1 license, so now I can jump solo by myself.
Okay, without the instructor or the chip, or
no, no. If I don't have an instructor, or I can jump without an instructor and a chip. You're correct, yeah.
But always with a chute.
With the parachute, yes, yeah, that's correct. And I can jump by myself on the plane. I can't jump with other people and do formations. I can do that after I get my B1 license.
Can you be an instructor?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. I have to do maybe 3,000 jumps.
Tell me if you will become an instructor, and I'd like you to be my instructor for me and my husband.
But you're a husband. You'd be comfortable me being your instructor?
Of course. I always want my instructor to be somebody I'm comfortable with, and somebody I can entrust
beginner?
my life with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's really fun. You should try it in Dubai. They will. I heard that they're going to be opening up a school here. I'm not sure when, but there's talk about that happening.
Oh God, I hope that's soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so now we've talked about skydiving. What about rock climbing, which you did just yesterday, you told me?
Oh yeah, I did rock climbing yesterday, but in February, the 4th of February, I did mountain climbing. So that's kind of different.
Which mountain is this?
It's Kilimanjaro in Tanzania.
Who were you with?
I was with my mother and my sister, and it was an initiative, it was a family initiative. And my brother, he wanted to join, but he didn't get the opportunity to get off work. He's sitting right there.
It's okay. You can go next time.
Yes.
There are many mountains to climb in this world.
Yeah, well, it was the first mountain. It was a family, and we reached the summit and the World Cancer Day, which is 4th of February.
So you were doing it for a cause?
Yeah, it was for cancer.
And your mom is, you were with your mom and your sister. How old is your mom?
My sister, she's, my mom, she's 51.
She's awesome.
Right now. She just turned 51, in March. And my sister, she was 18.
And she's still climbing mountains.
Yeah.
Your sister is also an athlete.
Yeah, she is. She plays the basketball for the national team.
No.
But she stopped, and now she's studying in the Portsmouth University.
So you're a family of athletes.
Yes, we are. Yeah, my uncle actually, he was in the national team for football. I think 20 years ago. Yeah, and he scored many goals, and he helped the team get into the Asian Cup.
I see. Okay, now that it's Ramadan, I'd like to ask you: are there any changes that you're doing? Any time management that you do, especially when it comes to food, or to your exercise, or to your physical activity? Is there anything like that you're doing differently? Yeah.
Because actually, I just returned from university. So I had the first few days of Ramadan in Barcelona, and the sun was setting around 10:30 over there. And then I came to Scotland to graduate on the 24th of June, and it was setting around 9:30. So I'm kind of used to the long days. But when I came here to Doha, I found that it's a little bit hot and a little bit humid. Well,
a little bit? Are you kidding me? It's extremely humid here.
Okay, I'll tell you a trick. If you don't turn on your AC really high at the house,
that's good.
What happens is that your body isn't that cold. So when you transfer to another environment, the climate is, there's not a big difference between the temperatures.
You don't have to adjust.
You don't have to adjust,
yes.
So if you do that, that helps you a lot. Your body kind of climatizes to the temperature, and you won't get headaches or nauseousness.
That's right.
So something that I've been doing since I came here is before suhoor, at suhoor I'll drink a lot of water just to keep my body from dehydrating the next day, because I train from 3 o'clock just before.
In the morning, or is it?
No, in the afternoon. Yeah.
Okay.
So I train at that time. Yeah, I hit some golf balls. I mean, it's a little bit different for people who are training in different sports, such as basketball, where you have to exert a lot of effort. But for the golf, you have to exert a lot of effort, but you kind of it's more it's in the same place. You're not moving as much. So I try to drink a lot of water just to keep hydrated, and then I try to practice just before iftar. And because if I do get any thirstier, it's the thirst that's the problem. It's not the hunger. The hunger I can go without eating any food, but it's the thirst, because your body gets dehydrated. You might get nauseousness or dizziness. That's the danger. It's the thirst. Yeah. But yeah, I train before the iftar, and then afterwards, after iftar at nighttime. I see.
What about your sleep? When do you sleep?
I try to sleep as early as possible, yeah.
Around which time is this?
So about 11 o'clock.
I see.
11, yeah, 11. I try to have my suhoor as early as possible, so I don't have to wake up.
I see.
Yeah, but wake up for the prayer, and then you go back to sleep. and then you wake up again at 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay, and so that's how your day goes for an entire month?
That's how my day goes, yeah.
I see.
And it helps if you feel a little bit tired after work, you can have a few naps, like a power nap.
Of course.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
That always helps, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, for golf, are you doing this for a living, or what is it that you do as a career? Is this what you do?
No, I was sponsored by the Qatar Olympic Committee to go and study in Scotland, in St Andrews. And I just completed my education there, and I came back and I have to go work with the Qatar Olympic Committee for another, I think, 5 years working with them. I signed my contract on the 27th of July,
Wow.
just after Eid.
Congratulations.
So I'll be in the Sports Affairs Department, and that's their core business. I'll be looking after the sports in the country, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What are your future plans? Do you think you still see yourself playing golf in the future, or do you think you're going to transfer into another sport or do another sport in the future?
Yeah, I always believe in integrating sports into your life. So if there's a sport that you're really passionate about, you should keep on doing it on the side. And sports is part of life. You cannot separate it. We're born to move. We're born to
That's right.
move our bodies. So it has to be part of your life. I see in the future that I'll be playing golf for the Qatar national team, and at the same time working. And there were times where I had to study a lot and not play golf, but it's kind of engraved in me. If you love a sport, your body, your mind, it will find a way to get back to your level.
Yeah. It's like your body looks for that activity.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, if you really take care of your body and you feed it, good foods, nothing processed. Let's try to stay away from that.
True.
Again, something going back to the diet. Yeah, I try not to eat as much because what happens is that you get really tired if you eat too much.
I should tell myself that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you've been fasting for the whole day, your stomach is
yes.
kind of shrunk, and it just cannot accommodate for all that food that's
That's right. And you actually have to use that energy as well. That's why you need to do some physical activity.
So eat very little. Okay. And
what kind of food do you eat? Like no burgers?
Oh no, yeah. Okay.
Veggies?
No fast food. I try.
Right.
I try to eat everything except bread, sugar, salt. I cut that out. And fast food.
Dairy. What about dairy?
Dairy, I stay away from it, and anything processed, I try to stay away from it. Yeah.
Wow. So all fresh.
Yeah, you want a fresh body.
Of course.
We all want a fresh body, and you do feel really strong. You do feel like you have a lot of energy. You do feel like you can do more with your day. Food is supposed to be medicine. There's a philosopher, there's a Greek philosopher, I can't remember his name, but his philosophy was that food is actually medicine, and we can use food to heal our body.
Wow.
It's not something that must make you very tired and that you'll be falling back on your back after eating.
Yeah,
you should feel like, oh, my stomach hurts me, or I cannot move.
Right, right. I mean, I've been looking at food as something that would just please me, just something I put in my body. But now that you've mentioned that, it's a very good note to remember that food should be considered as medicine that should heal our body.
Yeah.
That's very good. All right. Before we go, let me ask you one more question about sports. What advice can you give to the aspiring athletes here in Doha?
Aspiring athletes, just keep on practicing your sport, integrate it into your life. If you're in a primary school all the way up to going to university, you can find the time. If you want to, you just manage your time. There's a lot of experts at Aspire Zone, Aspire Academy. That's where I graduated from, and if you really want it, you'll find the means to get there. You just have to give it all you want. And just like Nike said, don't think, just do it.
Wow. That's amazing. Very impressive. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I really learned a lot, and I'm still looking forward to your license as a skydiving instructor. And please do let me know. You've got my number. You just call me, and my husband and I will definitely get on that plane with you in the future, hopefully. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Friends, when we come back, we will be interviewing Shahid from Trinity Talent. Once again, you're watching Layali Ramadan live on Snap TV.